I'm going to show you how to make an alcohol-free black cake that's just as good as the original. Black cake is a moist, dense fruit cake that's traditionally enjoyed at Christmas in most Guyanese and Caribbean households. I simmered raisins, prunes, currants, dried orange peel, and candied cherries in a pot with grape juice. The grape juice replaces alcohol that is typically used in black cake. I let it cook for about 15 minutes. This process softens the fruits and infuses it with the orange zest. I let it sit overnight before finally chopping in my food processor. You can also add a few tablespoons of grape juice if the mixture has absorbed too much of the liquid and is not blending well. And this is the consistency that you're looking for. Now I'm going to get started on the cake batter. To my bowl, I am adding 2 sticks of butter. Then I'm going to add my brown sugar, and I am using Guyana brown sugar. And I'm going to beat this on high until it's light and fluffy. If you don't have a stand mixer, you can also use a hand mixer, or you can go old school style and just use a spoon. Be sure to scrape the sides periodically because you want to make sure that this beats evenly. And as always, if you are interested in making this recipe, I will have it linked in the description box below, so be sure to check that out. Now while that continues to mix, I am going to crack our eggs, and we're making 1/2 pound of cake, so you're going to need 5 eggs. And instead of cracking the eggs directly into the batter, crack them into a bowl just in case there's any eggshells, or if there's a bad egg, it doesn't go straight into your cake mix. Add the eggs one at a time into that butter and sugar mixture and beat it on high. And don't rush this step. Make sure the egg is well incorporated into that butter and sugar mixture. You don't want to add it too fast or too many eggs at a time, or else it will cause this mixture to curdle, and that's not what you want. So just add the eggs one at a time and just keep mixing. This recipe takes patience. While that is going, I am going to sift together my dry ingredients. I have all-purpose flour, baking powder, cinnamon, nutmeg, and clove. You can also use mace. I'm using salted butter, so I'm not adding any salt, but if you were to use unsalted butter, you would need to add about a pinch of salt to this mixture. Sifting helps to remove any lumps or clumps that might be in the flour. Now that I've added all the eggs, I check to make sure that all of the grains of the sugar has dissolved before adding almond extract and vanilla extract. And then I'm going to mix this all together before adding the fruit mixture. And I'm just going to add it all in. It will seem like it's a lot, but it's just fine. Black cake requires a lot of that fruit mix. Then I'm going to mix this together on about a medium speed. You just want to make sure that the fruits and that butter, sugar, and egg mixture just blends together really well. And this is pretty much what you're looking for. Now it's time to add the dry ingredients. And at this point, since I don't want to overwork the batter, I'm going to switch to using a wooden spoon. I'm not going to use the mixer. So using the batter, I am just going to fold it, and I'm just going to go from the bottom to the top and make sure that the flour mixes into that mixture really well. And I'm going to add a little bit more of that grape juice to the mixture. You do want it to be a little bit on the thick side to where your spoon can stand, but it shouldn't be super thick. If you were making a traditional black cake, this would be rum or port instead, but we're using grape juice as a replacement. And of course we're making black cake, so it needs its signature dark color. To achieve that color, I am adding cake coloring or browning. And this is simply sugar that's been caramelized until it reaches this deep dark color. You want to make sure not to add too much, or else the cake will become bitter. The cake will darken once it comes out of the oven and is soaked with additional grape juice. I line the cake pan with parchment paper and also grease and flour it before adding the batter. And I'm just going to spread the cake out just to make sure that the top of it is nice and even and flat. And this is going to bake low and slow at 275 degrees for about 2 hours, just until a toothpick comes clean when you prick it in the middle. The trick to making any black cake extra moist is to add in even more liquid as soon as it comes out of the oven. Using a toothpick, prick across the top of the cake. This is going to help it absorb the liquid even better. And because this is an alcohol-free black cake, we're going to add even more grape juice. You can also add non-alcoholic wines. There are a lot of non-alcoholic wines on the market, so that's also a great substitute for alcohol. Brush it across the top and allow the cake to just soak it all up. I added a little bit more grape juice and let it sit for about a day, and this is what it looks like. Moist, delicious. Look at that beautiful smooth texture, and this was absolutely delicious. I hope you give this recipe a try this upcoming holiday season, and I'll see you guys in the next one.